Imagine renewing your Alaska driver's license without ever leaving your couch. No lines, no waiting, just a few clicks, and you're completely done. If you want to save hours of your day and completely bypass the bureaucracy, you are absolutely in the right place. Welcome to our explainer on how to master the Alaska DMV's online renewal process.
So, I want to ask you a serious question right out of the gate. How would you like to entirely avoid driving across Alaska's vast geography just to stand in a crowded DMV line? Whether you're navigating the heavy traffic in Anchorage, dealing with the sheer distance of rural Alaska, or braving unpredictable winter weather conditions, visiting an office in person can take a massive bite out of your day. It's an ordeal literally all of us would gladly skip if we had the choice.
0. That is the exact number of hours you're going to spend waiting in line if you use the online renewal hack we are breaking down today. No taking numbers, no waiting in a rigid plastic chair, and no pacing around a crowded lobby. By the end of this explainer, you will feel completely empowered to handle this digital process on your own. You'll have the knowledge to save a significant chunk of your day, replacing a frustrating errand with a simple, streamlined online task.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering why you should renew online, figuring out if you're eligible, walking through a step-by-step guide, tackling the specific age 21 rule, going over some post-renewal and tech tips, and wrapping up with some final thoughts.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Why You Should Renew Online.
The contrast here is honestly pretty striking. Before, you might have had to drive to a DMV in Anchorage, Palmer, or Fairbanks, taking time off work and dealing with completely unpredictable wait times. Now, you can securely manage your credentials in your pajamas. It's really all about taking control of your time and getting immense peace of mind. By taking advantage of this digital service, you eliminate the stress of travel and uncertainty, turning what used to be a half-day chore into something you can check off your to-do list before your morning coffee even gets cold.
Moving right along to Section 2. Are you actually eligible to use this system? Let's find out.
So, the crucial thing to know is that you must meet these exact criteria, otherwise the system is going to reject your application. First off, you have to be between 22 and 68 years old. Also, your last renewal must have been completed in person. The state alternates this just to keep your photo and records fresh. You'll also need to be a U.S. citizen. Your license must be in good standing without any suspensions, and your personal information cannot have changed. One big thing to note, if your license has been expired for more than a year, you are completely disqualified from the online system, and you just have to start fresh in person. The same applies if you need a specialized vision test beyond the standard self-certification. Now, here's a major distinction to keep in mind. If you want to upgrade to a real ID for the very first time, you absolutely must do that in person. For that, you have to bring in physical documents like your birth certificate or passport, plus proof of residency. But if you already have a real ID and just need to renew it, or if you're simply renewing a standard non-commercial license, the online system is perfectly designed for you. It basically just separates the folks who need rigorous initial verification from those who just need a routine update.
Okay, Section 3. Let's get into the actual step-by-step guide for your renewal.
By simply following these 4 steps, you take complete control of the process. First, preparation is key. Have your expiring license right in front of you for the ID numbers, grab a credit or debit card, and make sure your internet connection is stable. Second, navigate to the official state website and locate the Alaska DMV online gateway. Third, you'll go through the prompts. Be sure to input your personal details carefully to avoid any typos that could cause a delay. You'll update your emergency contacts and formally self-certify that your corrected or uncorrected vision is 20/40 or better. Finally, just submit your payment. When we look at the cost breakdown, the standard $20 online renewal is tied for the absolute cheapest and most efficient option available to you. Mailing it in actually costs an extra $1 for processing and takes significantly longer to clear. And if you use a third-party business partner, that can double the cost to $40 for a standard card or even up to $65 for a real ID. So doing this online yourself isn't just saving you a trip across town, it's actively keeping more money in your pocket by bypassing the middleman entirely.
Let's move to Section 4, where we need to address a very specific technical hurdle, the age 21 rule.
If you currently hold an under 21 license, you should know it automatically expires 90 days after your 21st birthday. Because your new license will switch to a horizontal format and drop those age restrictions, the state mandates an alcohol awareness test. Now, if you're an out-of-state college student, you have to follow this exact chronological sequence. First, take the test online via the K2DO portal. Second, email your passing verification to doa.dmv.ads@alaska.gov so they can manually update your record.
Once they do that, and only on or after your actual 21st birthday, the online portal will finally unlock for your digital renewal.
All right, sliding into Section 5, post-renewal and some crucial tech tips.
It is incredibly reassuring to know that you'll have legally binding documentation immediately. The exact second your transaction clears, the DMV emails you a temporary paper license that you can print out and keep in your wallet or your car. Then, within about 2 to 4 weeks, your permanent card arrives right in your physical mailbox. And remember, standard renewals in Alaska run on a 5-year cycle, so once you finish this, you won't have to even think about it again for half a decade.
Now, for anyone understandably a little worried about cybersecurity when typing in their driver's license and credit card numbers, it's important to know the state uses heavy encryption within their online gateway. This portal is specifically designed to isolate and totally protect your sensitive personal data from start to finish. You can confidently enter your payment information knowing it's shielded by modern security protocols, keeping your identity safe while you handle state business from your living room. Now, here is a major technical pitfall that trips up a lot of users. You absolutely cannot use your smartphone or an iPad for this. Because of the specific automated verification forms, touchscreen devices are simply not supported. You really must sit down at a traditional desktop or a laptop computer. Also, make sure you're using a modern browser like Chrome, Firefox, or Edge. If you try to use a legacy browser like Internet Explorer, the payment portal will likely just fail. If you do experience a glitch or the website goes down, you'll need to reach out directly to Alaska DMV customer support via their main phone line to reset your session and get back on track.
Finally, we've reached Section 6, final thoughts and a quick disclaimer. As a final reminder, please do not let this process lapse. Once your license is officially expired, it is no longer legal for you to drive, period. By understanding the eligibility rules and tech specs we just covered, you avoid that legal headache entirely and transform a dreaded chore into a 5-minute task. I highly recommend you share this digital shortcut with friends or family members who might be putting off their own renewals. You might just save them a miserable trip to the DMV too.
I'll leave you with this final thought. While we've meticulously distilled the statutes and source materials for you today, DMV regulations and fees can and do shift over time, so always double-check the official Alaska DMV portal before you begin. This explainer is a general educational resource. It is not legal advice. But it does make you think. As we increasingly move our identities and errands to secure, encrypted portals, will physical, brick-and-mortar DMV offices soon become a thing of the past? Thanks so much for watching.